Chosen one, something has shifted, and you can feel it in the air around you. The energy is heavy, not against you, but against those who thought they had the power to stop you. Something massive just happened, and the ripple is undeniable. You may not have seen all the details yet, but behind the scenes, your enemies are panicking. The very ones who doubted you, mocked you, and plotted against you are now realizing that their efforts collapsed, and the tears they once wanted you to shed are the ones rolling down their faces. Behind closed doors, they are crying, not because they lost to you directly, but because destiny has exposed how futile their fight against you really was. But before I go deeper into this revelation, I want you to pause for a moment. Stay with this message until the end, because the insights here are meant to strengthen you and confirm what you've always felt deep in your soul. At the end, I want you to write your most sincere wishes in the comments and include the number 777. This act is more than symbolic. It is a declaration, a release of energy into the universe that will align you with what you've been waiting for. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe, because every message you receive is part of your awakening, and each word has been timed perfectly for you. Chosen one, the truth is simple. Every scheme against you had an expiration date, and that date has arrived. They underestimated how divinely backed you are. They thought they could destroy you, but what they didn't know was that your struggles were fuel. Your pain became power. Your silence became strategy. And while they were laughing at your setbacks, you were being refined, molded, and positioned for the moment that just arrived. The breakthrough didn't come by accident. It came because it was inevitable. And now, as you rise, they are left behind in disbelief. You see, those who plotted against you thought they were smarter, more connected, more capable. They whispered behind your back. They tried to tarnish your name. They slammed doors in your face. But chosen one, those same doors they tried to close have swung wide open for you. The opportunities they tried to block are now arriving without their permission. The blessings they tried to sabotage are flowing anyway. And the worst part for them? They have to watch it happen. They can't stop it, they can't undo it, and they can't ignore it. That's why they're crying behind closed doors. Something massive just happened. Chosen one. You've entered a turning point. The energy has shifted in your favor, and no matter how much they resist, nothing can reverse it. You don't have to argue with them anymore. You don't have to prove anything. Your very existence, your survival, your rise is the proof. Their tears are confirmation. Their panic is evidence. And your peace is the final sign that you've already won. Chosen one, do you realize what has just unfolded? The shift that happened in your favor was not small. It was massive. It was the kind of turning point that changes everything, not only for you but also for those who stood against you. This is why your enemies are restless. This is why they are crying behind closed doors. They are not just mourning the fact that you rose. They are mourning the realization that they wasted so much energy trying to block something that was unstoppable from the beginning. They thought their voices were louder than destiny. They thought their lies could overshadow truth. They thought their power could match divine order. But the moment that massive breakthrough arrived, it exposed all of them as powerless. You see, chosen one, when destiny shifts in your favor, it is not a quiet move. It shakes atmospheres. It flips narratives. It forces people to see what they've been ignoring. That's what has happened now. The very people who once said, "You'll never make it," are now being forced to watch you step into the very things they claimed you would never touch. And the pain of their tears isn't just about your rise, it's about their exposure. They can no longer pretend they were right about you. They can no longer act like their efforts against you worked. They know, and deep down, the guilt is heavy. Chosen one, think about it. How many times did they laugh at your struggle? How many times did they celebrate your setbacks? They thought those moments were permanent. But what they didn't understand was that every setback was fuel for your comeback. Every delay was a setup for greater timing. Every no was protection that aligned you with a better yes. Now the tables have turned, and the same mouths that mocked you are silent. The same hands that tried to block you are trembling. The same hearts that hated you are heavy with regret. And here's the deeper truth. They're not just crying because you rose. They're crying because you did it without their approval, without their validation, without their help. They believed you needed them. They believed they held the keys to your progress. They believed they could stop your shine if they refused to open doors. But chosen one, your elevation came from a higher source. It bypassed their control. It arrived without their permission. And that reality has broken them. Because nothing hurts an enemy more than seeing you win without their involvement. Something massive just happened, and you may even feel it in your own spirit. The weight you once carried feels lighter. The obstacles that seemed unmovable suddenly look small. The path ahead feels clearer than before. That's the energy of breakthrough. That's the sign that you've stepped into a season where resistance no longer holds the same power. The tears behind closed doors are proof that you've shifted into alignment, and no amount of envy can reverse it. So walk boldly, chosen one. Don't waste time explaining yourself. Don't waste energy trying to make them understand. They already know. Their tears are confirmation. Their silence is proof. Their regret is the evidence. You don't need to fight anymore, because the victory has already been declared. You've risen, and the sound of your rise is echoing louder than their hate. Chosen one, when something this massive shifts in your favor, it doesn't just change your life, it exposes everything around you. The people who once underestimated you can no longer hide their shock. They may not say it to your face, but behind closed doors, they are crying because they now realize the truth. You were never who they tried to paint you as. You were always stronger, wiser, and more resilient than they wanted to believe. Their tears are the reflection of their failure to recognize what was in front of them all along. Think about the people who used to celebrate your failures. They laughed when you struggled. They whispered when you fell. They nodded when doors closed in your face. They thought those setbacks defined you. But chosen one, those setbacks were only chapters, not your ending. You carried them as lessons, you turned them into stepping stones, and you refused to stay where they wanted you. Now those same people watch you stand taller, walk freer, and glow brighter, and it burns them inside. They have to live with the reality that their laughter has turned into their silence, and their confidence has turned into shame. What's powerful about this season is how undeniable the shift is. Before, they could argue. They could say you weren't good enough. They could spread lies. They could convince others that you would never rise. But now, they can't. The evidence is too clear. The very things they said you couldn't do are now unfolding before their eyes. The very places they said you'd never reach are now opening to you. The very blessings they said weren't yours are pouring into your hands. Their tears are not just regret, they are surrender. They are the acknowledgement that destiny was always greater than their plans. Chosen one, realize this. Their crying isn't just about you winning. It's about them losing control. For so long, they thought they had power over your story. They believed their gossip could shape how others saw you. They thought their betrayal could stop your progress. They assumed their absence would leave you stuck. But something massive just happened, and all those assumptions have crumbled. You didn't just survive, you thrived. You didn't just recover, you transformed. You didn't just rise, you elevated to a level they can't reach. That's why they're crying, because they can no longer deny what has always been true about you. And here's the deeper revelation. The reason their tears are so heavy is because they know they played themselves. They showed their envy. They revealed their hate. They made their opposition clear. And now, as you rise, they know they can't come back and pretend they supported you all along. They burned the bridges. And now they're left on the other side watching you succeed without them. That pain is their own doing. Their tears are not just about your breakthrough, they're about their choices. They see what they lost by fighting you instead of standing with you. So, chosen one, let this strengthen your spirit. You don't have to justify your rise to anyone. You don't have to apologize for your elevation. You don't have to explain the blessings pouring into your life. They may not clap for you publicly, but their tears are proof privately. Behind closed doors, they're mourning while you're stepping into joy. And that's how you know something massive has shifted. You can feel the peace within you while they feel the chaos within them. Walk boldly. Your victory speaks louder than their denial. Your glow shines brighter than their shadows. And your breakthrough has already silenced every lie. Chosen one, when a shift of this size crashes into your timeline, it doesn't just move a few pieces on the board. It flips the whole table and forces everyone to reveal where they really stand. That's why the room feels different when you walk in now. People pause mid-sentence. Eyes dart. Conversations change temperature. The same ones who once spoke with ease now search for words, because the script they rehearsed about you no longer fits. Something massive just happened, and whether they admit it or not, they can feel the pressure of truth pressing against their carefully built stories. They used to say, "It's not that deep," but now their own bodies betray them. Shallow laughs, tight shoulders, half smiles that never reach their eyes. You don't need proof from their mouths. The atmosphere gives them away. This is what exposure does. It rearranges power. For a long time, they fed on silence, counting on you to shrink, to keep your head down, to accept the role they cast for you. They inflated themselves on your restraint. But your restraint was never weakness. It was strategy. You were building quietly while they were bragging loudly. You were learning patterns while they were repeating mistakes. You were stacking character while they were spending credibility. So when the breakthrough hit, and it hit like thunder, balance returned to the room. Their inflation popped. Your substance stood. Behind closed doors, they are crying because the math no longer works in their favor. They sowed doubt and expected applause. They reaped consequences and got quiet. Notice how the narrative is rewriting itself without your hands on the pen. People who never defended you are now correcting the record in rooms you'll never enter. That's not how it happened, they say. Actually, you were wrong about them. The same mouths that once gossiped now use your name to gain favor, because attachment to your truth has become a form of currency. Don't be distracted by the sudden compliments. Clock the shift and keep moving. Favor is not owed to late believers. Gratitude is good. Access is earned. Let your elevation teach you stewardship. Kindness without naivete, openness without obligation, generosity with boundaries. There will also be a wave of revisionists, the ones who once delighted in your delays but now claim they always saw greatness in you. They will try to re-enter with amnesia, hoping momentum will blur memory. You don't need a public confrontation. Your memory can be private and still be powerful. A boundary is a full sentence spoken softly. I wish you well, but my table is full. When you say less, your life says more. Your daily execution is louder than any explanation. Remember, you are not owed reconciliation with people who chose rivalry over relationship when it mattered. Release them with peace, not permission. And what of the practical? The room has shifted. So must your rhythm. Momentum is a living thing. It responds to structure. Tighten your morning. Protect the first hour like a sacred gate. Audit your circle. Separate companions of vision from companions of convenience. Clarify your yes. Opportunities multiply after a public win, but not all open doors lead forward. Some lead sideways. Some lead back. Create 3 filters for every invitation. Does it align with purpose? Does it protect my peace? Does it compound my impact? If any answer is no, the offer is a dressed-up distraction. Your enemies are crying behind closed doors because they lost control. Don't give it back through scattered focus. You'll also notice an upgrade in your intuition. Before, discernment arrived as a whisper that required faith. Now it arrives with receipts, little confirmations folded into the day, a sentence overheard at the exact right moment, a message landing just as you decide, a random delay that saves you twice in one afternoon. Treat these not as eerie coincidences, but as a newly calibrated instrument. Journal them. Patterns multiply where attention flows. The more you honor the signal, the clearer it becomes. This is part of the massive that just happened. Your inner compass snapped to true north. Others are still using magnets. You're reading the stars. You may feel a temptation to gloat. Don't. Gloating signals insecurity, and insecurity leaks power. You don't need a victory dance in their hallway when your footsteps already echo in their walls. Let grace be your flex. Nothing unsettles an opponent like your refusal to become what they accused you of being. Choose elegance over ego. Excellence over explanation. Excellence is an argument that never raises its voice. Deliver work that ends conversations. Build outcomes that make rumor irrelevant. Outgrow the room so thoroughly that debate about your worth starts to feel antique. Expect counter-moves. Exposure invites last-ditch attempts, fabricated narratives, rehearsed remorse, sudden alliances with your rivals. Breathe. There is a difference between noise and threat. Create a response protocol in advance. Pause 24 hours before addressing anything public. Consult a wise, emotionally neutral voice. Ask, will this matter in 90 days? If not, starve it. If yes, address it once with facts, then return to creation. Makers win because they outproduce problems. Your new advantage is not only that something massive just happened, it's that you can now convert turbulence into throughput. As for your heart, honor the grief that travels with victory. Few talk about it, but elevation carries micro goodbyes. The version of you that needed their approval, the spaces that once felt like home, the language you spoke to survive smallness. Let them go. Ritualize the release. Write a letter you'll never send. Take a quiet drive. Stand under open sky and say out loud what is ending and what is beginning. Closure is not a door they must close for you. It is a door you learn to close gently for yourself. And finally, recalibrate your definition of enemy. Many were never strategists, just insecure spectators who mistook their discomfort for discernment. Keep your language clean. When you stop calling them enemies, they stop living rent-free in your head. Your assignment is too large to be powered by revenge. It runs on revelation. The real story isn't that they're crying behind closed doors. The real story is that your calling walked through a door that can no longer be shut. The lock is broken, the hinges are bent, and the hallway beyond is lit. Step through with steady feet. Leave the echo of old rooms behind. Carry the calm of someone who knows. The proof has arrived, the page has turned, and the pen, finally, is in your hand. Chosen one, this moment in your story is more than a turning point. It's a revelation. Something massive just happened, and though your enemies hoped no one would notice, the vibration of this shift has echoed too far and too wide to be hidden. They are crying behind closed doors, not only because you rose, but because the very structures they built to block you are collapsing right in front of them. Their networks of gossip are crumbling. Their alliances are fracturing. Their whispers now sound like confessions. They don't know how to stop what has already been set in motion, and that helplessness is breaking them down. You see, chosen one. They built their confidence on the illusion of control. For years, they convinced themselves that they had influence over your path. They believed that if they shut certain doors, you would stay locked out. They believed if they tarnished your name, others would never see your value. They believed if they distracted you long enough, you would lose focus and waste time. But destiny is never negotiated by human hands. Purpose does not require their permission. And when the divine shift came, it bypassed every barrier. It wrote your name on opportunities they swore you'd never touch. It placed you in rooms they thought you'd never enter. It elevated you in ways they cannot comprehend. That's why the tears flow, not from compassion, but from the recognition that they lost to a story larger than themselves. And what makes it sting even more is that you didn't retaliate the way they expected. They thought you would exhaust yourself fighting them head-on, screaming to be heard, begging for validation. But instead, you went quiet. You built in silence. You healed in solitude. You worked while they wasted time mocking. And when the time came, your results spoke louder than any defense you could have made. That's the part they can't stand. That you rose without their approval, and now you shine without their applause. Your silence outperformed their noise, and the weight of that truth is crushing them. Chosen one, understand the deeper meaning here. Your enemies are not crying only because they lost against you. They are crying because they lost against the truth. Lies can live for a while, but they cannot outlast revelation. False stories may spread fast, but they always collapse under the weight of evidence. And you are the evidence. Your survival, your resilience, your glow, your breakthrough. It all testifies against every false word spoken about you. Each blessing in your life is a rebuttal. Each victory is a correction. Each step forward is a silent declaration. They were wrong about you all along. But here's what you must be careful about. Do not let their tears distract you. This season is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Your rise is not to make them suffer. It's to fulfill your assignment. If you waste time staring at their regret, you'll miss the momentum meant for your next level. Remember, chosen one, the breakthrough that just happened is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a bigger chapter. This massive shift was designed not only to elevate you, but also to position you for greater impact. The world needs what you carry, and now that your enemy's noise has been silenced, your voice will echo louder. Notice how people are starting to gravitate toward you now. Some come with genuine awe, realizing they misjudged you. Others come with quiet guilt, hoping proximity will cover their past mistakes. And a few come with disguised envy, still trying to siphon your light. This is why discernment is critical in this season. Not everyone who claps for you is for you. Not every hand extended is trustworthy. Not every tear shed is from remorse. Some are from anger that they couldn't stop you. Protect your energy. Honor your elevation by building walls around your peace. High places attract hidden motives, but you've been trained to see through them. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Their crying is not your problem. Their regret is not your responsibility. Their guilt is not your burden. Your only assignment is to keep walking forward, to keep building, to keep shining. Let their tears water the soil of your success. Let their whispers become the background noise to your breakthroughs. Let their closed doors remind you that when humans block you, destiny builds a better entrance. You are walking proof that no lie can outlast truth, no plot can outpower purpose, and no enemy can outmaneuver what is written. Chosen one, the shift you've stepped into is bigger than personal victory. It is a spiritual turning of the tide. Something massive just happened. And though you may not see every detail with your natural eyes, you can feel it in your spirit. The atmosphere around you confirms it. The weight that once pressed on you has lifted. The tension that once surrounded you has broken. And behind closed doors, your enemies know it too. They are crying because they sense what you already know. Nothing will ever be the same again. For so long, they were confident that their strategies would work. They plotted in secret, convinced that their influence would shape how others saw you. They whispered lies, hoping those words would spread faster than truth. They placed obstacles in your path, thinking you would stumble and give up. But chosen one, every one of their attempts has now been exposed as powerless. The tears they cry now are not only from regret, but also from fear. Because they know something that terrifies them. You are unstoppable when destiny is backing you. Understand this. The reason their tears flow now is because they are witnessing a role reversal. The very traps they set for you are now the cages they sit in themselves. The isolation they hoped you would drown in has now become their reality. The same energy they poured into trying to block you is now weighing down their own lives. This is the boomerang effect of envy. It always comes back. And while they thought you were fighting alone, they are now realizing you were never truly unprotected. There was always a covering around you, guiding you through storms, shielding you in silence, and lifting you when you felt like sinking. Chosen one, what makes this shift so powerful is that it has revealed how divinely untouchable you are. Think back on your journey. You've faced betrayal, ridicule, loss, and isolation. And every time they thought, this is it, they're finished. But instead of breaking, you built. Instead of crumbling, you grew. Instead of quitting, you rose again. And now, this massive breakthrough is the culmination of all those hidden victories. It's the public confirmation of what was always true in private. You cannot be stopped. Their tears are proof of your resilience. And here's the truth that stings them the most. You didn't need revenge. You didn't have to fight dirty. You didn't have to waste energy trying to match their schemes. You simply kept walking, kept believing, kept pushing forward. And while they were consumed with you, you were consumed with purpose. Now the results are undeniable. Your growth, your glow, your elevation, they all speak louder than their lies. That's why they're crying. Because in the end, they realized that their hatred only highlighted your greatness. But chosen one, take this as both encouragement and warning. Elevation attracts new eyes. The same shift that silenced your old enemies will awaken new opposition. People you don't even know will feel uneasy in your presence because your energy disrupts their comfort. Don't be surprised when strangers envy what they don't understand. Don't be shaken when distant voices speak against what they cannot touch. This is part of walking in the light. The brighter you shine, the more shadows react. But remember, their noise cannot undo your protection. Their whispers cannot reverse your breakthrough. Their envy cannot cancel your calling. This is why you must stay focused. Don't spend energy proving people wrong when destiny has already done it for you. Don't waste time looking back at closed doors when new ones are opening ahead. Don't let the sound of their crying distract you from the sound of your own progress. Your enemies weep in secret, while your blessings grow in public. The tables have turned, and now you must walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are covered, chosen, and unstoppable. So lift your head, chosen one. Breathe deeper. Step stronger. Speak clearer. This new season is yours, and no amount of regret behind closed doors can alter it. What just happened was massive, and it is only the beginning. Chosen one, you've reached the point of undeniable proof. What once was hidden in shadows is now revealed in light. Something massive has happened, and the ripple of it is echoing everywhere. Your enemies, the same ones who thought they could break you, now cry behind closed doors. Their regret is heavy, their shame unspoken, and their tears are the loudest confirmation that destiny cannot be denied. They tried to bury you, but all they did was plant you. And now, you have risen higher than even you imagined. This final shift was never just about you winning. It was about exposing the futility of their schemes. Every trap they set has backfired. Every word they spoke has dissolved into silence. Every door they slammed has been replaced with an open gate you were destined to walk through. And now they know, beyond doubt, that you cannot be stopped. Their tears are not simply sorrow. They are surrender. They have realized that fighting you was never really about you. It was about them fighting against truth itself, and truth always wins. Chosen one, as you step forward, don't look back. Don't waste energy staring at their downfall. Their pain is not your responsibility. Their regret is not your burden. Your task is greater. Your calling is higher. Your mission is alive. The breakthrough that just shook your life was not an ending, but a beginning. A door into the season you've been prepared for all along. Let their tears water the soil of your purpose, and let your steps grow bolder with every stride. This is your time. Walk with confidence. Move with certainty.